What's up, beautiful beings? Welcome and welcome back to the Alignment Holistic Center. On this channel, we'll talk everything spirituality, self-love, self-growth, everything that has to do with becoming the best version of ourselves, honey. So my name is Jacqulinenkadimeng. If you didn't know, now you know, but you can call me Jackie. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to ground your energy. How to ground yourself, honey, because we need to be grounded as much as we need to be elevated and spiritual and all of that. And that's why you find a lot of people being spiritual, but you still gossip. You're spiritual, but you're still doing some shady things, because you need a lot of grounding. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to ground your energy, because sometimes we be doing it subconsciously, unaware that we're actually doing all of these things, judging people and vibrating really low, thinking that we're vibrating high, but we just need that grounding. So if you're interested, stay tuned and don't forget to like, subscribe and share with your family, because we all need that grounding, honey. Okay? So firstly, we need to learn how to practice deep and intentional breathing, right? So breathing connects you back to yourself, because sometimes your mind might be wandering and thinking about so many things, which makes you very anxious. And when your energy is anxious, it means that your energy is everywhere else except for in your body. And another way, or the reason we do grounding, is to bring ourselves back to ourselves, back to our body, connected with our breath, right? So breath is what makes us living. So whenever you're feeling anxious, whenever you're feeling, out of place, or you feel like you're in your mind a lot and all of that, what you need to do is just inhale and exhale, right? So that brings the energy back to yourself. You bring back your breath back to yourself, like you intentionally breathing, right? Which slows down your brain waves, because your brain waves usually they're like so fast because your mind is just used to thinking, right? So it's very important to take a deep breath intentionally. So the second one is to go outside and take nature walks, which are very important, people. Especially if you're living in the city, you need to go out of the city, because you're normally just inhaling all the toxic air and all of that, which is also not good for your body. It's not good for your mind, right? That's why you feel agitated, you feel out of place, you feel like you need to get out. So you need to get out of the house. You cannot always be indoors, even if it's just always being at work and all of that. You need to get out and take a breather, especially connecting with nature. What I like to do is when I go out and I find me a tree, I'm gonna hug that tree, as weird as it is. I want to absorb the energy of the tree, because trees have a lot of history and the trees are very grounded. So hug the tree, honey, as weird as it can look, but you need to go out and experience more of nature, because nature is very grounded. Nature grows from the ground, so it makes more sense if you want to connect or stay grounded, to connect with nature. The third one is to make a nourishing meal, right? So this makes you feel grounded, because for some reason we are taught that vegetables are good. So subconsciously we know that eating vegetables is good. Eating something that comes from the ground is good for you. So when you're making that lettuce or you're making that cucumber, it makes you feel good, because you feel like you're doing something right? So when it comes to staying grounded, it always goes back to connecting with yourself, and yourself is the purest form ever. And we know that plants actually have a high vibration, unlike meat and all the other food. And I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not going to tell you to stop eating that meat or that fish, or to become something that you're not. However, including like umrojo, you know, like spinach, you know, the greens in your diet is very important because it makes you feel grounded, it makes you feel like you're doing something right, it makes you feel like you're giving back to your body. So another one is journaling. So journaling is very important because we produce about over 6,000 thoughts in a day, right? That means that we are constantly thinking, you know, even when we're not aware that we're thinking, that we are thinking. And some of the thoughts are subconscious programming. Like, for example, when you're used to making tea, let's say you take 3 teaspoons of sugar. Sometimes you do it subconsciously without actually realizing that that's how you make tea, until you're sitting down, you're like, oh, you know. So some thoughts are very subconscious, they're very programmed, right? So writing down your thoughts and all of that just makes you or helps you stay grounded, especially when you feel like you're overthinking. When you feel like you're overthinking, you need to write down. I know it is boring, but there's also a lot of tools online that you can use. Instead of writing, you can type it down. If you're more of a typer or a typist, I don't know the name to use for that, but writing down your thoughts is very important. It also helps you keep track of the things that you're constantly thinking about. So if you're constantly thinking about something that is negative, it's easier to pick it up if you've written it down. And sometimes you find that you are anxious or your energy is just like all over the place and it's not grounded because you just need to write down the thoughts. Like, your thoughts just want to be written down so that you can act upon those thoughts. So that is something that I learned and I needed to relearn again, writing down. So you all know this video will not be a Jackie's video if there's no meditation in the video, okay? Because I always emphasize the importance of meditating, you know. So meditation actually helps you become tuned with yourself. It helps you slow down your thought process, right? There's nothing wrong with, you know, being a thinker and an overthinker. Well, being a thinker is nothing wrong with that, but being an overthinker means that you need to constantly meditate, right? It does not have to be an hour. It can be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whichever time you have is very important to meditate. So when you're meditating, right, you are basically bringing your energy back to yourself. The key or the point of this whole grounding process is to bring yourself back to yourself, your energy back to your body, where it's supposed to be, you know, because if you're thinking about tomorrow, then your energy is not in your body. Your energy is in tomorrow. If you're thinking about the past, your energy is in the past, right? And we tend to attract things that are happening in the past or things that have happened in the past, and we are not in the present moment. So meditation helps with being present, being within yourself, understanding your thoughts, understanding your emotions. You know, I always say this, you need to understand why you are feeling in a certain way, why you are, you know, not within your energy. What is it that is taking your attention from the present moment? Because that is the fundamental or the basics of grounding. Grounding basically means that being in the present moment. So if you are thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, that means that you're probably anxious. And if you're thinking about things that happened in the past, then you're probably depressed. So it's very important to meditate and tune back to yourself, tune into your body. So the sixth one is to move, right? So we made of energy. Everything has energy. That's why I love talking about energy, because everything is energy, right? So if you are stagnant, or you're always sleeping, or you're just always sitting down, you are bound to feel like you are not grounded, you know, because that's where your mind now starts wanders. Your energy wants to do something. So if your body is not doing anything, then your mind is going to do something for you, because every action starts in the mind. If I want to start walking, it starts with the mind. If I want to make some tea, honey, it starts with the mind. If I want to water this plant, it starts with the mind. So every single action starts in the mind. If your body is not doing any kind of energy, you stay stuck in your head. So you need to move, okay? You need to take walks, okay? You need to do some yoga. So yoga helps basically just move the energy all over your body, right? So you find that if you're doing like the cobra pose, the energy goes from your feet to your head and all of that. It's just about the movement of the energies, right? So that your body can feel like it is doing what it's supposed to do, right? Just moving around the house, and just basically movement is very important when it comes to staying grounded. And another point is rest, right? So if you're not sleeping a lot, or having so much stagnant energy, and you're always busy, your body can also stay in the energy of always being busy to a point where you need to rest. Intentionally resting, not just like, oh, I'm gonna sleep at 10 o'clock or at 9 o'clock, or that's when I usually know. You need to intentionally rest, like intentionally tell your body and your mind that now I am resting, right? Before you sleep, before you do whatever is rest for you, because for some people rest is not the same, right? So before you rest, you need to intentionally tell your mind and your body that now we are resting, so that the cells in your body feels intentionally at rest. It doesn't feel like it's just another routine that you're doing, although you can incorporate rest into your routine, which is very important. Another point is to declutter, okay? So decluttering also includes decluttering your mind, cleaning your mind of negativity. So as much as you clean the house, dust, put things where they need to be and all of that, which is something that I personally still am working on, because I'm not a person that usually is very active when it comes to cleaning. I do clean, on my best days. So it's just a matter of now incorporating that into routine, which is something that I'm actually even practicing now, that every single day I clean. Like every single day I clean, I mop, I do the things for my mind to also feel like I've accomplished something, which also starts with doing your bed, first thing in the morning, bathing, so that you can feel like you have accomplished something. So even in your mind, you don't have that thing, oh, I still need to, because your mind becomes cluttered with all these things that you need to do, and you end up not feeling grounded because you haven't done anything. Your mind is still wandering. Okay, and last but not least is playfulness. Okay, I've been known to be very serious. So being playful connects you with your inner child, right? And who's more grounded than your inner child? See what I did there? If you see what I did there, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and send it to somebody, okay? But yeah, you need to play with your childlike energy, okay? You need to be, because we neglect that childlike energy because we feel like we need to be adults, we need to be grown. There's nothing wrong with taking on responsibility and understanding the age that you are in. However, that child is what is going to keep you grounded, because that child is your most innocent self. It's the self that wasn't thinking so much, that did not have so many responsibilities, that did not overthink, that did not, that was just being. And as human beings, we need to learn how to just be, okay? So yes, those were the tips that I had on how to ground your energy. I'll be posting a video every single week. Yes, that's one of the things and the routines that I am setting up for myself. We can also get into it because you never know what you might learn, right? So yeah, like I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and invite your family, because somebody else might be wanting to hear this, okay? So I'm gonna see you in the other videos, and you must comment there, okay? Say something nice.